another bright day and we've come back again. My name is Teresa Kenika. I'm a counseling psychologist and the lead therapist at All Smiles Therapy Center. And with me here I have
Christabel Njero, counseling psychology at All Smiles Therapy Center.
We are here today, and from the last discussion that we held, we are talking about parenting and all that. And thank you so much for the great support and for the feedback that you've given us, even for the people who are enrolling for the parenting course. And just to mention, if you are out there and you've not heard about it, we have a 6 weeks parenting course. It's once per week from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. to ensure that we accommodate everyone. It's offered virtually, that is online, regardless of wherever you are eligible. For people working shift, people who are busy working, and you can choose the day that you want, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And even for people outside the country, for some people it's their morning, whereas for us here in East Africa, it's our evening. And we made it in such a way that even as you're leaving work, you can just switch on and engage, put on your earphones, and you get to learn much more. It's a 6 weeks training, once per week, and at very much affordable cost because it's 1,000 bob per class, which means it's a total of 6,000 shillings. So we'll be engaging much more. And thank you for those who are calling and who are already registering, and for those who have come for therapy. So today we are talking about something very different, however not far away from parenting, because we are talking of parenting. Who is this person that we are parenting? Hence our topic today is about preteens, teens, and young adults. And so we're going to start with preteens. And Bella, you can tell our viewers what we mean by preteens, which age gap are we looking at here, and the things that parents need to know, and teachers and our audience out there about preteens.
Preteens, we also call them the pre-adolescents, which is about the age of 9 years to 11, 12 years. And at this stage is these teens, the preteens as we call them, they tend to be very industrious, we would say. They want to go out there and find things for themselves. And that this one they're starting actually to get to know who they are as they transition to the other stage, who they want to be. They want to feel involved, to engage more, and to try new things at this stage. So preteens, it's a very sensitive stage, I would say, that needs a lot of attention from we as a parent, and the love and the affection and the affirmation, so that we are able to build them and help them grow as they transition to the next stage, which is the teen stage. So as they get there, they have the confidence which they are built from down here to when transitioning to the teens. Yes. And then we go to the teens. The teens we've said preteens is 9 to 11, 12 years. So the teens is 13 to 19 years. And in this stage, this is where they find their identity. At this stage, that's where they form their identity. Who am I? Who do I want to be? With all the changes taking place in their body, the emotional, the physical, the cognitive, they have to have a basis of who they are, independent, apart from them being with the family members and the friends. Who am I? What do I love? What do I like? And at this stage, if they don't form the identity at this stage, this teen will be confused for the rest of their life. So as parents, we have to know how to help them identify who they are and who they want to become, who they are as independent of everyone else in the environment. And then once they get to establish that, they're ready to go to the other stage, which is the young adult stage. So the young adults, now they are a bit mature. It's 20, 24 years. And at this stage, they are trying to come up to develop their intimacy, their relationship with friends, they get close to closer to family members, to friends. They form bonds, and we also have to help them know how do you form a relationship with other people. Do not isolate yourself. When other people are doing 1, 2, 3, get involved, get to learn, share your opinions, share your advice, speak out. So yes, these are some of the things that we need to learn and to know how to deal with them, how to help them, how to work with them as they grow up.
Wow. Yeah, and just to mention, when we talk about preteens, at times it's that stage where they're just confused.
Yes.
Are they kids or are they now the adolescents? So they are lost in between, and we realize as a parent when we place them where they are kids, they are actually not very much comfortable because they want to associate themselves with the adolescents.
Yes.
However, again, when now you look at the adolescents, they do not want to associate themselves with them.
Yes.
Because now they feel preteens, they are still kids, they are still learning. And most of the time, these people, it's a stage where now they are left, they're just there, they are lukewarm,
Yes.
and they require much of your attention. Why? Because they want to work so hard to prove that they are no longer kids, and at the same time, the stage they're looking upon, they're seeing the things that they're doing. And that's why nowadays we have preteens who are engaged even in sexual activities because they still want to associate or to be seen as their adolescents. And here is where you out there as a parent or the guardian, and even the teachers, being a very critical stage, you need to be very, very much aware of what is happening in their lives, and at the same time understanding of where they are at. And that you get by having discussions with them and making them also get to know what is happening, creating that difference that you are no longer a kid. Now you are from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, and now this is where you are heading to. Because, and especially when we are growing up, we were never told about these things. You're just told, wait until you are 13, wait until you are 18. So what is this that you are promising that they're going to get once they become teens? Still, when we look at the teenager, again, this is a very critical level or stage of life, where now these people, they require much of our attention. Why? You find they develop something because now they know they're already in their teen life. Definitely they are no longer kids, and again they are not adults, but still they want to be seen like they are adults. They want to associate themselves with adults. So this is a stage where we experience a lot of things like rebellion. When you tell them to do this, they also feel I have a brain of my own. This is not how I want to go about it, and this is how I should go about it. So as a parent, ensure you do not cause more conflict. To start with, be very much aware of what is happening to my daughter, to my son. Once you're very much aware, now you are able to walk through with them. And now again, also for our young adults, this is another group of people. And in most cases, we have even young adults, pregnancy and all that, because they are now already out there. Now they feel they are off teenage life. They do not know how to transit now from being teenagers into adulthood. And the math they know is the moment you are an adult, you give birth, or you can now engage into sexual activities without anyone asking for it. For them, they see more of freedom. They see the freedom, and hence, if they are not well brought up, and not well brought up doesn't question your parenting. It could be what they are exposed to, even in their school level, and the people, the peer pressure and all that. This can be that time because it's for the first time you're letting your kids be. They're out there now, they have the freedom to do what they know is right and what they know is wrong. So in most cases, depending with how they've been geared, you can find them maybe indulging in very negative activities because that's all they know about their freedom. So again, you have a way you walk them through. You get to know now this is the time you are going to join college, and after college this is the life. Yes, you're going to have freedom, but you need also to make a decision on your own and get to know what is right and what is good. So do we as parents take that time to communicate with them? So now, Bella, we can discuss about the negative effects of when we do not bring this to awareness of both parents and preteens, teens into young adults, and what might end up happening when they are not taken through the face, or when you are not there to walk with them through the face.
Okay.
Yeah.
You before we get there, you've talked about exposure, and my mind went to the time we are at now. It's social media, internet is everywhere. They are able to access every single site they can. And at the stage of the teen, from 13, 12 to not even 12, not even 11. Nowadays, we call them the smartphone kids, yes? So even the preteens, right now, they know how to access stuff using the phone, using the internet generally. And how do we limit that which they watch? How do we access, do we know what they do when behind the closed doors? Do we know what they watch? What are they learning? And what are we doing about it? Are we the ones promoting? Because they're mad, because they want to keep them busy. Shake a phone, have your phone here, have your tablet here, keep yourself busy. Well, one might think it's beneficial to the teen or to the young adult, but are you limiting? Are you following up? And then what does that, it is at this stage, like you said, that they need the support, they need the attention, given at these different stages, at this transition. And the transition is so fast, you might miss it. So are you present even? And are you sitting down with them? Are you giving them the time that they need? Talk to them, listen to them, hear what they have to say, what their thoughts are about, what they want. Because the attention that they need, if they don't get it from us as parents, then they're going to look for it somewhere else. So what are the dangers of that? So many of them. Because my mind goes back to the COVID period, and so many teens were out of school because of the closure of the schools. And for instance, so many girls got pregnant. And that is where, you still talk about the intimacy. They want to go and try it out. And as a result, a 13-year-old is pregnant. But then our parenting styles, our attention is needed at this stage so much more than we know it. We need to give them our attention, because if we don't, they are going to look for it somewhere else.
Oh yeah, and even as we stop them, just get to know this is stages whereby they're very much curious, and curiosity is very high. So when we tell them, do not take alcohol, trust me, they go and do the negative. Hence, before we tell them do not, we need to explain why. Mm-hmm. Do not engage in intimacy. We need to explain why. But for us as parents, we just set the rules. No sex, no having an opposite partner as your friend, no alcohol, no all these things, no following peer pressure, but we explain why. So what is required, you as a parent, you need first to sit down. And we are starting with parents. Of course, we know there is other people involved, and especially teachers. But before then, one thing for sure is the way you brought up your kid. Even if they go to teachers, I'm sure maybe like 90%, they'll still follow your footsteps, and they'll go and acquire the rest as an add-on from their teachers. But in most cases, as parents, we've left it to be the role of the teachers to go and instill discipline, to go and explain the why. And this teacher has a lot of them. They have an entire syllabus, maybe even to catch up. They have so many kids in class. It's only you as a parent who gets to understand your kid better, because you can imagine a teacher who's teaching over 70 pupils in class. How do you expect them to identify your kid and get to know their personal things that they're going through? I mean, one will have to give. Either they take them through the life experience course, or now the school syllabus, which in most cases doesn't occur. So I always have an issue where parents come blaming the teachers. that it's because of this school, and you keep on changing your kid from one school to the other than dealing with the behavior that they're going through. And in most cases, this is caused by us not having that effective communication with them. Let them get to know your expectation as a parent. We've had scenario, and I'm not saying that kids who will have earrings and stands on, it's bad. It's about you as a parent and what you choose as your values. But I'm looking at a scenario where you feel this is not what I want. Have you communicated to this kid about your expectations that yes, as much as kids your age, they're doing ABCD, as a parent, this is not what I expect in my house. And these are my expectations. And you sit down and you go through. And you know, at time, Bella, even like posing a question to the kids, do you think it's good to take alcohol at your age? Start with that, because the moment you block and you say it's not okay to take alcohol, you're already giving them a reason. When they have that freedom, they will misuse it. Yes. But now when you post it and you let them also share their idea, because even as parents, we do not listen to them. Yes. You tell them, we say it's not okay to be engaged in sexual activities. Do you know why we say it's not okay? Just get to listen. Because by listening, you also get to know the knowledge they have from their perspective. And in most cases, they'll open up to what they've had, what they've watched on social media, what their peers they are doing. And with that, that will give you more information to be able to know the route to take your kids. Also, we've seen scenarios where these kids, because they come for therapy, at times they do not know who to trust. Why, as parents, we put some blocks. When they go to the teachers, they're also afraid not to be used against whatever they go and express to them, or whatever they go and disclose to them. Come up with a way, and also just get to understand it's okay to give your kids some space. Yes. It's still okay. I mean, you don't have to be all over them too much. Let them know. You can ask them, who do you share your secret with, or how do you go about your secrets? Give them a book, tell them to be writing and to journal everything, and only share what you feel. It's okay to share with mommy. I've had scenarios where some parents, they've told me, I got away to snitch through the book and the things I read, and so, you know what? If you can't respect their privacy, trust me, you're teaching them something. Yes. They can never come and share with you because you're already not respecting their privacy. Let them write down why, because even writing down, it's still therapy. But before they even get to that level, create that environment where they can come and share with you, and you get to be involved more in their lives. So Bella, maybe you can tell us how to ensure that we have relationship with our kids, to ensure even before they indulge in negative activities, we already know. When these kids, they're so much stressed, we already know as the parents, how do we ensure that other than, and especially as they are transitioning from preteens, teens to young adults, that we are walking the journey with them, not being there to set rules, like, ukifika hapa hakuna hizi, other than be seen like, like rule maker and all that. How do we ensure that we share the journey with them? They're even able to come and tell us, mommy, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend. How do we ensure that we enhance that relationship?
I think something we need to embrace as parents basically is open communication. And communication is two-way. Let it not be one way. Mom says 1, 2, 3. Dad says 1, 2, 3. She or he does not have a voice. Just sit, listen to what the parents have to say. What about my opinion as a child? Let it be open communication. So I'm setting 1, 2, 3 rules. What do you think about them? What's your view? What can I do to make 1, 2, 3 right? And to be able to be engaged in their lives. Sometimes, even when we were teens, there are things that we don't want our mothers or dads to know. But we would run to our auntie, your favorite uncle. So let there be people close to them that if they can't come to me as their mother, if they can't go to their father, then there's someone else aside here that they know they can trust, they can run to when they're having issues. As a mom, I'll be okay knowing if she's going through 1, 2, 3, she's going to see her auntie or her uncle and talk it out. Just knowing that she or he has someone to talk to about the things that they're experiencing, the things that they're thinking, their thoughts, their emotions, then That will go a long way. And then listening to them, not just letting them talk and then block them. So listen to them, be empathetic, put on their shoes and get to understand where they're coming from. And then from there, you continue with the journey. Support them as much as you can. Acknowledge their views, don't just shut them out, and work with them. Like we've said, attention, attention, attention. They need that attention. They need our listening ear as a parent. They need the advice. Sometimes we are so strict that they can't even come to us. So, put it down a bit. Get to their level if that is possible, so that they're able to work with me. If I go tell mom I did 1, 2, 3, as much as I'm afraid they will rebuke me or something, I know I have to tell them. I don't have to hide it from them. So that's what open communication does. You know what they're doing, because they can say, I'm afraid to tell my mom, but I want to tell you so that you can tell mom. That way you won't be surprised when things emerge and you have no idea. You had no idea it was happening. So yeah, I would say open communication is number one when it comes to the teens, the preteens, the young adults.
Wow, and that open communication also makes them feel more empowered, and they become even assertive because they know no when it's a no, and yes when it's a yes. Why? It's because you're already giving them that safe haven at home. You're already telling them, I'm here with you and I can listen. You can come and share with me and I can listen, I get to know, and I'll be there not only listening but also to offer you the support.
Yes.
It's also good to make your kids not just listening, because Bella, some parents might think it means I let them get away with everything they want.
Yes.
No, it's also when they come with a complaint, let's empower them in a way that they are able to do problem solving on their own. When they come and they pose a question to you, first get to know how do you think you are able to navigate about this. Also encourage positive relationships. Keep on asking who currently is your friend, and ensure you note it somewhere, and especially when they are in boarding school, get to know when now they close school, start from there. So is Joyce still your friend? Is Peter still your friend? And now get to listen to them. Some will come and say, no, we are no longer together. Now I have another new best friend.
Yeah.
Get to ask what happened with this other person. Not really because you want to indulge into them, but you want also to send some signal about the social skills and how to build great relationships out there. And you get to tell them, you see, if you have a conflict, there is a way you can solve it. What are the things that you can use to solve the conflict between you and James? And that's the mean of them coming back with a new best friend that they are wrong. It means there is something about relationship building, and now you should be able to enhance that. When they call out a behavior, also comment them. It's good that you realize Peter can never be a good friend because Peter is always maybe making noise in class, because definitely they are going to give you reasons. At the same time, and as we share about all this, we also want to look at a scenario where these kids, they do not have low self-esteem, and at the same time, never are they, they do not feel like they are overly stepping on other people. At least we strike a balance. And by so doing is by ensuring we call out on the bad behavior. Remember, we are still parenting them. Which means when they are on the wrong, we are calling out on the bad behavior. We are, taking them through the measures that it's required. At times, it's even withdrawal. If you continue with this, then no more watching of cartoon, no more watching of movies, because it all starts from cartoon, it goes into movies and all that. No more going out with friends, no more going for those birthday parties because you are misbehaving. Let's come up with ways of disciplining them, not just letting them again have their way, because for some parents might think, I should not be very strict to bring them closer. That's not the case. Strike a balance, and that's why we keep on encouraging you as a parent, just come and pursue our parenting course, so that you get to know how you can navigate about that. And now, because we're talking about preteens, teens, and young adults, maybe for the young adults, we'll get a chance to watch this, but for the preteens and teens, it's you parents who are watching on their behalf, but we have much, much more that goes on, because this is even where some careers they are built, you know, and as you engage with them, they tell you, I want to become a doctor, get to know what motivates you to become a doctor. You might be surprised. Maybe this person wants to become a doctor because they're running away from something. No, they want to become a teacher, not because they are motivated by this teacher, but because they were very much keen. They also want to become a teacher and be revealed. You know, when you ask about their future, also just throw in something. When you become a parent, what type of a parent do you want to become? How do you want to bring up your kids? Trust you me, whatever they will be telling you will be a reflection of you. Now, it's up to you to draw the line. Are they saying the reflection is the opposite of me, or they still want to be me? By that, they'll be communicating to you. So maybe, Bella, you can also talk to them on the effects of bad parenting, things that come to manifest in their adulthood, and especially because I've seen cases where some people, they've said, when I grew up, I want to become a doctor, and why I want to become a doctor is because I've seen my ailing mom all through. You know, these are some of the mental issues, some of the mental issues that come in between, and they are projected and manifested in their adulthood.
So, effects of bad parenting. I've had a case where a kid comes to me and then talks to you about something, and you're like, why didn't you tell mom about that? Or why didn't you tell mom what you think? And she would be like, if I tell her, she would say I'm talking back to her. If I go silent, she'll be mad I'm going silent. So what do? You see, that is bad parenting, I would say, because you're not giving them the voice. You don't want them to keep silent. You also don't want them to talk. So what do? Now, bad parenting. If this child doesn't get the attention and is able to grow up believing and feeling secure, then insecurities will build up. Their self-esteem will be damaged. They'll be trying to build it up step by step, but then it will not be easy for them. There are those that come out strong, but then there are those that the parenting styles and the experience, how they grew up, demoralizes them altogether. Then they are fearful. It's hard for them even to make friends, and you see they tend to have what we call the childhood trauma. The things they experience when they are kids they come to haunt them now that they are growing up, and even when they are adults, leave alone the young adults. And then you see anxiety. They don't want the fear of maybe abandonment if at some point it happens in their lives, and so many mental issues come up. At some point, they even might become depressed. They might become depressed following what they've experienced, and they don't even know how to go about this. So many our bad parenting styles, how we parent our kids, has a huge effect as they grow up, I would say.
Yeah, and we've seen scenarios where, just like you're saying, bad parenting style denies this kid their childhood.
Yes.
Trust you me, when you take away their childhood, that is a damage to them, because we are forcing this kid to mature more than their age. I've seen scenarios where kids parent their other younger siblings. It should not be the responsibility of the kids to parent their other younger siblings. You know, and I absolutely do not like it when because I know I have my firstborn, they can do everything and you do not care what is happening as a parent. Not just that I do not like it, but also when we look, that is me as Teresa. But now when I look at it from a therapist perspective, bad order, most of the time when you're dealing with firstborns, you realize that along the way they missed their childhood. They became like a godparent.
The deputy parent.
The deputy parent, you know. We deny them that. And nowadays we are encouraging how you can bring up your kid. Yes, you're the firstborn and you're the fifthborn and you're all kids. You know, you are all kids and you are engaging on ways of kids, just like kids. You let them engage, but do not make it responsibility of the other kid to take care of the young ones. You've seen scenarios where one will even suffer punishment. By the time your brother was pouring milk, what were you doing? Other than punishing and calling out the behavior that the brother has poured milk, you are on the bigger one questioning them what they were doing. So what we do with that, you start instilling some sense that I should be taking care of my young siblings. And slowly that is taking them through emotional abuse, because them as kids, you are slowly taking away their childhood and trying to make them deputize you as a parent, which is a dysfunctional way of bringing them up. Let them be kids. Let each and every kid be very independent and own up their own mistake. Of course, allow them to engage, because we also have scenarios where they keep on fighting another. These things will always be there, but as a parent, you also need to know, not a scenario where you just come and you kill the elder one. You're the bigger one, you need to know that this is the small one. No. Get to know why are you people fighting, because these fights will always be there. Yes, so do not allow your kids to start taking up your role of parenting the other kids. Please let your kids be kids. It's okay, you can be firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn, but that's just the birth order. Doesn't mean that it comes with some roles. And of course, when you're giving them duties in the house, do not make it look like because you're the elder one, you're supposed to do this. Alternate. Otherwise, you will have kids who will grow up. Some will be very much responsible, and others, they will be very lazy, because when they were growing up, everything was done for them by their elder ones. So just have a way of balancing. Even if you are a mother of 7, balance and get to know they are all kids. Please do not deny them their childhood by letting them deputize you in your parenting. You are the only person who is parenting. That's why nowadays we have so many people who say absolutely do not want to be a parent. Why? Because they were already overexhausted by becoming semi or demi parents when they were very young. Hence, what else are you telling them about parenting? And they've already done that unconsciously. Also get to know during pre-teens, teens, and young adults, there is a lot of changes even in their body, that is the physical changes, as well as emotional changes. So I remember back, have had to see clients where now they come with some other esteem, that if it's a girl, they walk like this. Why? Because they are hiding their past, Now they are growing breasts and all that. Do sit and you get to share with them that this is okay, this is normal, you're going to have some physical changes, or just let them to be the work of the teachers to tell them. So now for some ladies or girls, they feel so bullied. For men, they would prefer maybe to be quiet because they are breaking their voice. They do not want to be heard. And again, they are also afraid of bullying them. And also for some parents, we also enable some of this behavior because we also become bullies. When you want to call out on a behavior, you just say, because now you've broken your voice, you think now you become a man enough. Because now you have breasts all over, you think, or because now you're having your periods, now you feel you become a woman enough. We should stop doing this. If they're wrong, call out the behavior. Do not accuse them or use such words, because now what you're doing, you are making it look like they are misplaced. Yes, there's some physical changes that they have nothing to do with that. And that now breeds resentment. Kids will grow not wanting to be like their parents and also not wanting to share anything, and not because the moment you tell me that, do you think I'll come and tell you I have now started having my monthly periods? I'll still know, she will still use this against me. Or as a man now, I'm growing beards and all that, they won't come and share with them because they feel you'll still use it against me. And what will end up happening, because either way, they have some needs. They'll now start, if it's about girl child, they'll go out there, sleep with men so that they can have money to buy sanitary pads. For men again now, they'll go out there, maybe because of peer pressure and all that, indulge into alcohol and everything because they just want somewhere where they feel they have identity and they are appreciated, because at home they can share with us as parents. So as much as we are parenting them, let's get to know even parenting is very different. How you are parenting a preteen, very different with a teen and with a young adult. Maybe Bella, you can tell them more about the young adults, this being the age that we are looking at, kids in college. Now we've given them, not only are we still parenting them, but they also have freedom. And this freedom is legally what they are entitled for, because we are looking at kids 18 and above. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 before now we say they are mid-adults, and mid-adults is where now we say we let go. But now they are still confused because they are still relying on the parents, dependent on them to pay their fee and everything. At the same time, they are seeing others living a very huge life, and we have, that's the age we've seen they prefer to have sponsors for girl child. For boy child, it's what nowadays they're calling Ben-10s, and all these things they are led by, because they have their emotional needs as well as they have material needs to be met. So they are in between. The parent is still catering for me, but how am I empowered to be, number one, okay, even without knowing I'm in school or have just started work, and to strike that balance. Actually, this we are more talking to them as young adults as well as their parents, and also to strike the balance to get to know, I don't have to drive at 22 and I'm not earning for it. I don't have to pay in a house that I'm paying rent of even 7,000 if I can feed myself. How do we go about that to ensure that we instill positivity in them?
Young adults, the 18 and above, that's when now they feel like they have the freedom. They can move out if they want to. And we have like those that can't wait to move out of their parents' house, and there are those that do not want to leave. And it's not just for the kids, even for the parents. There are those that do not want to let go. They are afraid that if I let them go out there, then what happens? And there are those that also can't wait for them to get out of their faces. But then we have to hold them. Let them know it's okay. If you want, you've found a job, you've done your degree, you've done your education, you want to get out. Tell them it's okay to go have a life of yourself out there. Let them know you'll be there with them. Yes, you're not living together anymore, but you'll be present for them. That once they go out there, they need to go and see who they want to become who they want to become, do which they want to do. Because at this stage, they're trying new clothing styles, new music, new art, new everything. So let them. Don't hold them so close, like they're still your kids, they're still your babies. You know, sometimes letting go is very hard, especially if the connection was so good between the two of you. But also, for those that feel, I can't wait for them to get away, don't show it. Let them know you want to go, then fine. That's okay with me. If it's okay with you, then it's okay with me. Don't be that parent that says, I was waiting for the day you're going to tell me you want to get out. No, because that will communicate so much. You know, our words and our actions, they speak a lot to our kids. So as they transition, let them transition. As they transition, hold them, be with them, walk with them, because like Teresa has said, they still need your support. They are still kids. They are in between. One foot is out, another one is in. They'll be coming to mom asking for rent, for example. This month, mom, I don't think I'll make it. So they come back to you. You're still the parent. They're still the kids. They are 24, yes, but they're still our babies. And we need to offer that support even as they go out there until they are stable enough to be on their own. And then now let them go build their lives, build their family, but all along hold them by the hand.
Exactly. And as you do that, also hold them accountable. Do not be a parent who will be so much okay when your kid comes home driving, yet you send them to college. Get to know whose car is this. If it's your car, where do you get money to buy it? You know, be there, because with that, we will be the first people to show them these are the expectations that I have for you. I'm not expecting you to just wake up from nowhere and be this successful, because with that, you'll be like telling them to use the shortcut. But the moment they get to know, you know what, it's each step at a time. I have taken you to school, you are in maybe year 2, year 3, it's okay, you have 1 year to go, there is no pressure, it's still okay, I will support you. With that, we're also going now to reduce a lot of these sponsor and maintenance and all that. Why? Because we are still giving them care. Remember, Bella has said they need your support, they need your attention. When they don't get it from you, trust you me, now that's when they are going with other older women, your age, older men your age, because they are looking for what they're not getting from you as a parent. So the best thing, and you know, when they go, of course, they have the benefits of financial gains and all that, which are given in a very negative way, because definitely it's in exchange of intimacy, and that one means they're being abused. However, they are grown up, so there is consent, and they've also done it willingly. Hence, nowhere you can take the perpetrator that, you know, you're abusing my kid who is 32 years. So the best thing is to talk about the expectation, be there and let them know you can always come back home. Give them care, attention, support them. Even if I do not have money to give, we will think together and see how to come up with a solution. With that, they won't be compelled by the pressure of the rest, that I also need to, you know, man up, to be a girl enough, to drive, to be staying in this and that. Let them know you need to earn for you to live well. With that, you are also bringing up kids and partners of tomorrow who won't have a checklist of, if a man is not driving, a lady is not earning, I don't know, 6-figure and all that, they can't be my partner. No. Teach them how to earn on their own. With that, we'll even get to respect the other person with however little that they're going to make them happy. That said, now, because we've talked to you as parents, there is much more when now we are talking to these people, when we are talking to teens, preteens, and young adults. And one thing, when you discover and you see there is something, bring them for therapy. We see so many of them will be able to walk out the journey with them. In fact, what we've seen is the 90% of parents who bring their preteens, teens, and young adults to therapy, the things they come with as the presenting issues, they are nowhere close to the underlying issue. Why? Because also get to know this is a stage where they can also be so much deceiving in a way. They want you to believe that they're being bullied in school. They want you to believe that they're not getting what they want, but actually they're suffering from other different things. It's still communication. Their communication, it's communication, they're communicating to you that all is not well. What you need to do not hit yourself hard, neither hit them hard. Bring them for therapy. We will take them through. And of course, now we get to know what exactly is leading to this. We've had cases of forced suicide. You know, they force suicide, but actually they do not have any intention of committing suicide, but they are trying to communicate something. So you as a parent will come, they try the first time, the second time, but they're just being manipulative because they are trying to communicate something. Now this something is what we will discover during therapy, and we get to know the best way possible and the best approach to use in order to help them. So for that, what we've done, therapy is the first thing. Secondly, we've come up with classes for teens, preteens, and young adults. And because of the nature of our school calendars, we do not want to interfere with their current studies. So what we've done, this will be done during school holidays and within a 1 week duration, where we'll have a class, 3-hour class each and every day. So we'll have an hour from 9 a.m. to noon, or again in the evening from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. to ensure that we accommodate all the kids. And of course, it being online, we know for some kids, maybe they require your parents to be home, you give them your laptops or your phones so that they can use. That's why we have, so if your kid is not able to join from 9 a.m. to noon, they can still join from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And not only kids within Kenya, it's kids all over East Africa, outside, you know, because we are global. So they're also going to learn and get to share. Of course, we're not mixing them. A different class for preteens, another one for teens, and another one for young adults. They're also going to share from their peers and get to know much more. So these are class that is going for 6 days within a time frame of 1 week. A class per day for 6 good days, and this they are going to learn much more. We're also going to ensure they are more empowered on problem solving. They do not engage into drugs and substance use, into early sexual activities, and a lot of many mental issues that at times they come along their way. So please bring your kids to us as therapists. Let's work with them the journey. I keep on saying this: when we are more aware, most likely, when they know the effects of drugs and substance use, they won't do that. They will not abuse substance, neither use drugs, because they will know the effects. When they are more aware about their sexual life and the sexual positions, they won't have even be in a rush to go and engage into sexual activities. When they are more aware about peer pressure, gambling, it's still something else that is upcoming.
Yes.
And most kids, when you look at the young adults, even they do not have money to pay for hostel because they are still gambling and all that. When you let them know more about addiction and what it means, most likely now that's the path they will not choose because they will be more aware. So bring them to us. Again, for this one, we are charging at 4,000 bob. For the entire, not 6 days, it's actually 5 days, sorry. For the entire 5 days a week, we are charging at 4,000 bob. The entire learning program, you can see that is even less than 1,000 bob per session.
Yes.
Less than 1,000 bob per day. You as a parent, how much do you treat yourself out? It's just a sacrifice of one good lunch for you to have your pre-teen, teens, and your young adults go through this. And I'm sure you'll be able to see the different impact that it will cause. So with that, Bella, maybe you can give your parting shot.
I would say not just the teens, the pre-teens, and the young adults, parents too. Come and get some parenting tips from Osma's Therapy Center and let us know so that we're not bringing up kids that are carrying so much baggage they shouldn't be carrying at their age. So welcome all.
Thank you. Welcome. We are here to serve you all. That's why we have everything for everyone. So we look forward to you bringing us your teens, pre-teens, young adults, as well as yourselves coming to enroll into our parenting classes. So keep it here. Please, if you like what we are sharing, our discussion, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.